Hey guys, Ambience here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to beat Plushbaby in FNaF VR Help Wanted. If you've ever played Help Wanted, you'll probably know that this level is very infamous. Unintuitive strategies, complex enemy behavior, and some very tight situations make this mode insanely difficult compared to the rest of the game, and possibly one of the most annoying things in the entire series. Ironically, it's also one of the shortest nights in the series. This is currently the hardest base challenge for me personally in the official series, so I've been wanting to make this guide for a while. Thankfully, I now have a lot of new information that helps with quick decision making. The blacklight version especially will take a lot of practice to make consistent, but it is doable. You'll need quick reactions and a bit of luck to pull this off, but hopefully these tips will help. Let's get started with the basics. There's nothing else really like this minigame, so it might take a while to get used to it. You're on the floor behind a prize counter with a clock on your right. The clock is pretty much the only thing you can see, but luckily you have a flashlight. Unluckily, it has limited battery, which is absurdly tight. If you just leave the flashlight on, even for a few seconds, it'll die extremely quickly. Welcome to spam flashing, otherwise known as carpal tunnel simulator. Proper flashlight usage is one of the hardest things to learn for this mode, mainly because of how unintuitive it is. Instead of scanning the room with the light continuously on, you need to repeatedly tap the flashlight on and off while moving. This means you have a very short window of time to register information with each flash, and you'll probably have to go over the same spot a few times. This will still drain the battery a bit, but you should be able to go a lot longer than usual. No matter how tense a situation gets, don't let your battery ever drop below 1 bar. If it fully depletes, the bars will go blue, and 5 of them will have to come back before you can use the flashlight again. This is basically a death sentence if all of the plush babies didn't literally just spawn back. Try and move the beam in a natural way that quickly covers every spawn location so that you can find plush babies fast without your battery dropping too low. What exactly are spawn locations? Welcome to the plush baby rabbit hole. To even have a good chance of beating this mode, you'll need to know every spawn location so that you can scan them effectively and not waste time. There's a lot of these things, and they're too specific to explain them all, so here's an image that shows everything you need to know. This graph was originally created by DJ Sturf around the time the game came out, and has been edited by Insta to contain every known plush baby spawn location at the time of this guide's release. It's possible, albeit unlikely, that some haven't even been discovered yet, so if you find something not depicted here, let me know. This is basically the centerpiece of the guide, so I encourage you to look at it for a long while, take note of everything you see, and then try to memorize as much as you can. After playing for a while, it'll become very natural to check these spots, so don't worry if it seems overwhelming. For now, you'll be trying to structure your movement around these spawns. For example, if you start by flashing the box on your left, you'll probably want to scan up and down the shelves on the left, check the floor in front of you, check the front shelf by moving up a bit, and then scan the right counter, including below it. Then work your way back and check every location quickly. If you see a plush baby at any point, it's best to get rid of it as soon as possible. You might think that it'd be best to stall them once you spot them out, and that should be how it works, but unfortunately Plush Baby is able to break the space-time continuum and teleport to a different location whenever, so don't risk it. Holding the flashlight on a Plush Baby for a second or two will cause it to shake and then disappear, giving you about a 3 to 5 second grace period before they respawn. This allows you to look for another Plush Baby or sit in the dark and recharge your flashlight. These are the core basics of the mode. Spam your light to check the spawn locations in a clean pattern, register the plush babies quickly and get rid of them, and manage your battery all throughout. Sounds real simple, right? Yeah, that's what I thought too when I first started playing this mode. Let's go over some of the more specific and technical parts of this night. This night lasts exactly 3 minutes or 180 seconds. To actually get the timer to start, you'll have to get the plush babies to jump into a vent at the start of the night. You can either hold the light on them to force a quick start, or just wait for them to go in the vent by themselves eventually. Since the night is 3 minutes, each hour will last 30 seconds from the time they enter the vent. The first plush baby should spawn about 3 or 4 seconds after the timer starts, so you might as well use that time to recharge your flashlight. Once it's fully charged again, start checking the spawn locations. Remember, use the flashlight in short bursts to conserve your battery. From the time they spawn, a plush baby takes approximately 25 to 30 seconds to kill you. Around 25 seconds in, they'll play a voice line, indicating that you're running out of time. If this happens, it's really important to not panic and just keep searching for them quickly. You can easily still find them and make it out. There are 3 plush babies in this night, red, blue, and yellow, but they don't all start coming after you from the beginning. The red one is the only one that'll attack initially, the blue one spawns in at 1 AM, and the yellow one spawns in at 2 AM. This makes the first 2 hours much more relaxed, so try and conserve battery and get into the swing of things. Try and only have the flashlight on when it's pointed toward a spawn location, otherwise you'll end up wasting battery. Flick it off quickly, but feel free to check again if you didn't process if a plush baby is there or not. Move quickly and efficiently and conserve battery. It's FNaF, this should be second nature at this point. Remember, you have about 3 to 5 seconds before they respawn. At 2 AM, you'll have to juggle all 3 at once, and this is where a good memory will help you out. If you can remember which plush baby you got rid of most recently, then you know to focus on the others. If the one you just got rid of pops back up, then you can safely ignore it for a bit if the others are close to attacking. You can normally tell if it's red, blue, or yellow just by looking at the dress, but some spawns will make the dress difficult to see. Thankfully, there's other ways to tell. Red is the most normal looking, in good plushy condition, you know. Yellow is missing an eye, so that one's pretty obvious. However, it can be a bit more difficult to differentiate red and blue. Blue has a visible scar in normal mode, and dark spots around its eyes in blacklight mode. This can be hard to see quickly, but it can help you out in a tight situation. Okay, if you were paying attention earlier, you may have noticed that I mentioned Plush Baby can break time and space to teleport at any time. If this sounds like a way bigger problem than I made it out to be, then yeah, it is, you're right. If left unattended for too long, they'll teleport to another spawn location. If you're unlucky enough, this can happen literally right as you find them, which is just as frustrating as it sounds. This doesn't reset their kill timer either, so you'll have to search the whole room to find them. And they can teleport multiple places during one spawn phase. Thankfully, once they teleport out of a spawn location, they can't go back to the exact same place until you get rid of them, so that helps at least. Still, you can absolutely just get destroyed by bad RNG here, and this is why it's best to get rid of plush babies as soon as you find them. The exception is if you know that one just respawned and you need to find another one because it's significantly closer to killing you. There's no way to prevent these things from teleporting, unfortunately, just try and find them as quickly as possible and don't let them teleport twice in a row if they vanished once. That's pretty much all the info I can think of, so let's just go over some spawn locations. You might have noticed that the map here has marked some of them as different colors, so I'll go ahead and explain those real quick. Yellow spawns are the most basic. A plush baby spawns here, can teleport in and out, doesn't move, nothing special. Orange spawns are cabinet spawns, which there's only 2 of in the same area. These can be a bit confusing since they're not as self-explanatory. Basically, when a plush baby spawns in the cabinet, they'll make a sound like a door creaking. It's pretty distinctive, you should know it when you hear it. Quickly flash the cabinets even for a fraction of a second and the door will close with a quick, deep laugh. If you look away quickly, listen for the sound cue to make sure you got them. Once done correctly, they'll despawn like if you got rid of them normally. These spawns are fairly rare, but easily one of the most misunderstood parts of the minigame, so I thought it was worth mentioning. Green spawns are moving spawns, which are pretty self-explanatory. If a plush baby spawns here, they'll walk toward you over time. Along the counter on the left or right, or down the floor in the middle. This means you'll have to check a slightly wider range to make sure you catch them, but otherwise it's no big deal. The movement can actually help you spot them out quickly. Just remember that they can still teleport. Pink spawns are spawns that might exist, but aren't entirely confirmed. I'm pretty sure the top one has since been confirmed while writing this video, but the bottom one is still up in the air, so let me know in the comments if you see it. Or spawn anywhere else for that matter that's not marked here, some might be rare. Otherwise, basic static spawns. Red spawns are sound cue spawns, which make a distinct sound cue when a plush baby spawns there, but only the first time the spawn happens. Currently, the only definitive sound spawn cue is at the top of the shelves, and it'll make the noise of a vent opening the first time a plush baby spawns there. Very distinctive, very easy to hear. This also means that you won't have to check the spawn until the noise plays, just make sure to check it consistently after. Purple spawns are basically the same, except they only play sound cues sometimes. These include a wide range of sounds, such as a ball falling off the left counter, a plushie falling off the middle shelf, stuff like that. Make sure to check these locations all the time since they don't always make a sound, but if you hear the sound, you can immediately check those locations before anywhere else. That's pretty much it for normal mode. It'll take a lot of practice to get comfortable with, but putting all this information together gives you the best possible chance of survival. Move quickly and remember the spawns, and you should be all set once you settle into it. Blacklight mode is more of the same, except the plush babies can now blend in a lot easier. Every plushie in the entire prize corner is now a plush baby, with the actual plush babies being changed a bit to compensate. They now have scrap forms. These look largely the same, but more like Scrap Baby. The only real difference is that Blue no longer has a scar and instead has dark coloring around the eyes, so use that to spot him out. Many people think that Plush Baby is more aggressive in blacklight mode, but this actually isn't the case. Same kill timer, same spawns, the only difference is that every plushie looks like them. In turn though, this does make everything significantly more difficult. You'll have to hesitate more and second guess yourself, which drains more battery and slows you down, therefore making it so you can't get rid of plush babies as much. There's really not much more advice to give here, just take everything you learned for the normal mode and use it here. Move quickly, but don't be afraid to quickly double check if you think you missed a plush baby. Pay attention to what you get rid of, and drop everything to hunt a specific one if you know a voice line and know which one it's coming from. To differentiate the true plush babies from the fake ones, pay attention to the eyes and the coloring around the bottom right part of the face in particular. The eyes will be a very bright green or missing in the case of yellow. All three have black coloring on the bottom right of their face. Well, technically bottom left, but bottom right from our point of view. This is the quickest way to spot them out, along with memorizing spawn locations. Other than that, just follow everything else I mentioned earlier, and good luck. It's only 3 minutes, but this night is extremely tough and pretty luck-based. It'll take a lot of practice, but you will get it eventually if you keep trying, even through the hand cramps. Don't be discouraged. Well, that's all for now. Follow this strategy, and you should be able to complete the most obnoxious night of your entire life. While I think Plush Baby is easily the most annoying thing in the FNaF series, I'm curious to hear some other takes on it. Do you think this is the hardest level of Help Wanted, or is there worse? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of which, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you'd like updates on what I'm doing next, feel free to join the Discord server or follow me on Twitter for all the latest on upcoming videos, streams, and collabs, a chance to just chill with other FNaF fans, or even to get help on a night that you're struggling with. If you enjoyed this guide and you'd like to see more, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel to show your support. I know it's the classic YouTuber plug, but it really does help me out. Let's try and hit 30k by the halfway point of this year if we can, and I'll try and get as many guides as I can out soon. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to Bonnie360 for making this video's thumbnail. He's been doing this for quite a while at this point to ensure that these guides reach as many people as possible, so go support him. His channel is linked in the description. All of the links that I mentioned earlier are down there too, so check them all out. With that being said, thank you guys for watching this guide. I hope it helped you, and I will see you in the next one.